Oh shit, now you want me to take it out.
Hey everybody, it's Jen Ferguson here with Artistic Painting Studio. And as you could probably hear Dan in the background there, but it has been a long day. We got stuck with a little bit of an ant problem and had to deal with it almost all day long. So let me make sure I'm on the right page here. Let me go out and share the links. Let's see, where are we? Okay, got one of them done here, hopefully. And okay, that one's sending. Okay, I just want to go post over in Foil Everything and let everybody know we're here. And as I mentioned that, if you have not joined Foil Everything yet, make sure to go check it out. It's such a great place for tons of inspiration, and I don't know, there's thousands and thousands of projects in there as well. So let's see. Okay, one more thing here. Come on. And hopefully our internet is going to do well. We've had a little bit of rain and overcast, so sometimes that does affect things. But one more thing to do here, guys, and then we'll get going. So our day started a little late. We stayed up too late watching baseball last night. And then we actually were dealing with a little ant issue last night, but woke up to the problem that we had to really deal with this. I guess they're called carpenter ants. They're big. They look like ants on steroids. And they were inside and in all of the bins underneath. So we spent most of our day dealing with that. Actually had to move the coach to another RV spot. So hopefully we're good now. I think we've sprayed enough chemicals underneath to kill just about anything, and hopefully those ants stay away. So that's been our excitement for most of the day. And then, if anybody's following, we're excited to say that the A's won today. Okay, they've had a little bit of a losing streak, so that was fun to watch. But let me get my screen open so I can see comments. Hello, Kim, Jennifer, Stever. It is great to see you here, and welcome to everybody. So, been working on a project for the last week or so. Okay, and I know this looks kind of funny, but my clip chip has kind of helped to keep this in a position where I could work on it well. But it's a bucket hat, okay? And I was just trying to keep all of the middle of the hat out of the way so that the foil adhesive that I was applying and everything else was just not going to get in my way while I was working on it. So it is finally ready for our layer of foil application. And I'm going to just talk about the process for those that might not have seen this so far. But this is how it looked to begin with. Just a fabric bucket hat. Found it at, I think Michael's when I was out grabbing some supplies and surfaces. I bought a bunch of hats from them and a few other things, I think. But I sealed the whole section here, all where the stitching is on the outside, with 2 coats of our Bondago Clear. And then put on a layer of our foil adhesive yesterday, which you can tell is super bright, shiny, and sticky. So it is ready to go. Vicki says, cheer for Texas Tech tonight. It's time for the Longhorns to give up the glory. Okay, so it sounds like we got some more playoffs going on. So that's awesome. Hello, Wendy. Hi, Terry. And Lisa, yes, yay for the A's. Okay, I feel like it's been a minute since they won a game. So hopefully they're on the winning streak again and can win a series or two. That would be awesome. So I pulled out some foils earlier, trying to figure out which one that I might want to put on this hat. And these were the three that I found. Okay, so, and if anybody has any questions about the prep of what I've done on there, if I went too fast with any of that, just please ask. Pretty much our prep for any kind of hat, canvas shoes, if you're working on faux leather, it's all the same, okay? We always want to start with our Bondago, and the Bondago comes in different colors, but I used clear on this project, and the Bondago is going to seal the surface for you, which is super important to make sure that our adhesive is not soaking in to the prior layers or whatever the layer is, and that it'll stay on top and create a nice firm tack. Okay, and this really did come out great. I'm glad I've gone for the 2 layers of Bondago because I think it really needed it, being that it's just fabric. Okay, even as I'm moving this around, I'm getting my hair caught into it. Okay, so it really is super tacky. Hello, Teresa, Desiree, thanks for joining. So I grabbed Jungle Love, which I thought would be really fun, and just kind of, I don't know, for I guess one of my animal prints. I think it's kind of subtle. It has a light bronze background. Then I was also thinking wild leopard spots, which would go great with the black hat. And my third choice was actually not an animal print, which is surprising, but it is the Noelle Foil. Okay, give me a second. Sometimes these stickers just start falling apart and are a little challenging to get off. Might have to give up on this one and put some tape on it instead. I don't even have any fingernails left to even pull that off. If by chance you do have one of the stickers, these are all removable stickers that we put on the foils, but I don't know if it's how long they've been on there, whether sometimes they just don't cooperate. Best to quit using them at this point. Okay, this one's just all falling apart. And I just will get a pen, write on a piece of blue tape, and put the name back on it, okay? So that way you always know which foil that one is. That completely got destroyed. Okay, so this one here is called Noelle, and it has a combination of a little bit of bronze, silver, black, and it has flowers. Okay, so I'm kind of almost leaning towards this one. I think that would be really cute. Okay, so we're gonna go with Noelle. I'm gonna stay away from my animal prints for a moment, okay? I do have a tendency to use them a ton. So I'm gonna go ahead and put my camera down, you guys, so you can see what I'm working on. And I'm gonna cut some strips because I think that's gonna be the easiest way to handle that edge, okay? And I'm definitely gonna make these wider than the section I'm trying to foil. Give myself a little extra room. Never want to cut anything almost perfect to the size. I always like to give myself a little extra space for placement in case I don't place the foil perfect the first time. And I think 3 pieces might be enough. We'll see. Is it Senna? Senna, thank you so much for the stars, and I'm so glad that our talk and my email helped you out with your project. So we're wanting to see how it's doing, and keep us posted on it, okay? See, Linda says you just finished a straw wide brim with the Noelle. Oh my gosh, I know. And then If you guys haven't looked over and foil everything lately, I think it was, oh gosh, I'm trying to remember her name, Kim Bacon. I've known Kim for many, many, many years. She has been a faux finisher in the industry. I don't know if she's been around as long as I have, but I've known her for years because we both were in the decorative finishing, okay? But she did a great hat. It was a straw hat, and she isolated, I think it had maybe black trim or something on it, but she isolated a couple of the little areas, okay, like staying between the stitching, and did a couple of ways around the brim hat that just, it came out really, really cute. You guys will have to go check it out. Okay, let me make sure I've got my scrub brush and my toothbrush ready to go. Deborah says, I received my order. I now have Bondago Clear. I have several hats I want to get ready. Ball caps and bucket hats. Should I put the Bondago on both sides of the brim if I plan to foil both sides? Yes, Deborah, you definitely want to put the Bondago Clear on both sides. Now, I was going to play with this hat, and I'm doing my traditional technique on the outside of the brim using the Bondago Clear and then the regular foil adhesive. And on the other side, I was going to test the gel duo and just see how that will work, because I feel like I can get this flat enough to iron it, okay? I don't like using it on the baseball caps because I feel like I just end up flattening out the caps and I don't get the coverage I want, but I thought because this was more fabric and flexible and I could get it flat, I'm going to try the other side, so we'll see. Okay, I took my strip and I cut it in half because once I started laying this out, I definitely realized that I'm going to not be able to go straight, okay, because it's going to curve. So I figured maybe if I just do a smaller section at a time, I can get my placement on here a little bit better, okay? It's definitely going to play with the pattern alignment, but I don't think this foil will show it as much, so. Okay, let's get some scrubbing doing here. You know, this foil, I don't know if it's just the lighting I have here. It looks really, really dark, but I think once it gets transferred and the silver pops, it will definitely come alive. But Deborah, this is the first bucket hat that I've even tried to do. And I think it was just because when I was at Michael's and I was looking for the baseball caps, I found this one and thought, oh, that could be super fun to do. So definitely do the 2 coats of Bondago though, because I feel it really, really needs it. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Okay, definitely got to get in here and scrub some more. You've got the stitching. That is going to definitely give you more texture that you're working on. But once I got in there and got that stitching scrubbed in the right direction, that looks like it's coming out really nice. Okay, my favorite part, the peel and reveal. And I'm just going to keep going. Always critique. Make sure you're happy with your transfer before you completely remove the foil. I always find that if I pull it back enough to check the release and then put it back down, I normally can always get a little bit more coverage by coming back and scrubbing a second time. So I'm going to go this way and just make sure that we a good transfer there. Okay. Look at that. Okay. Letting some light hit that. That is going to look so pretty on there. So Noelle is really a cool foil. There's just a lot going on, and the colors are so complementary to a black base. But you've got a lot of color that you get out of this one with the silver, the bronze, the black. There's even some gray tone, I feel, so there's just a lot. Okay. So make sure that when you're trying to transfer, you're just getting a little bit of a workout here and scrubbing, okay? Scrub as much as you can to get that release. This is going to be so cute. Kimberly says, I bought a bucket hat at Kohl's last night. Oh, a light chambray color. Ooh, that's a good price. I don't remember. I think I got this one for around $5. I don't think it was any more than that. It might have been a little bit less. But it's always great to try your Michaels, your Hobby Lobby. You know, I haven't been by a Dollar Tree store lately, but sometimes you can find some of the things or hats at Dollar Trees as well. Okay, I'm going to still keep cutting this into a little bit smaller sections so that I can keep working around. Like I said, I'm not really worried about lining up the pattern. I don't think you'll notice where my seam was to begin with on the first two sections coming together. Oh, Ashley's on here. If most of you all should know my daughter Ashley, but she's asking about details on signing up for the workshop that I'll be teaching in Michigan. Ashley, I'll email her tonight. She's normally really good about replying, and I'll see if I can even message her after the live and get details on how to sign up for the workshop. I think you probably just call their location, but I'll double check and see if she's got any way to sign up online. But I'll do that afterwards. Oh, Leanne, did I miss a question there? Okay, yes, it is a bucket hat. I've just used a good old chip clip to keep the middle section out of my way. And let's see, I'm going to scroll back and just see if I missed anything. Oh, Terry, you're here. Okay, Terry, can you answer Ashley in regards to the workshop? How do people sign up? Are they just going to call your shop and sign up via phone, or do you have a place for them to sign up on the on a website? So if you can just let Ashley know, just reply directly to her in the comments, okay? So good timing, Ashley. Terry's here. I told you she's probably around. This is coming out so great, you guys. Okay, I'm almost afraid to even try the duo on the back because I love the way this is coming out so much. I don't want to mess this hat up. I might have to just get another bucket hat and do the other one completely with duo and see how it comes out. And let me explain why I like this process so much better. Is because I feel like I can just get in here and just scrub, okay? And that I end up with a pretty consistent sheen as well as far as the transfer goes. When you iron on the foils, it's just hard to get down into all of your nooks and crannies, and if you've got texture, it's just a little bit more challenging to try to iron into all that. And even though the duo says you can use it with and without heat, I don't feel like when I come back and scrub, and I'm not using the iron, trying to, you know, scrub it down into whatever part that missed, I feel that the sheen changes, okay? So when you iron, you're going to get a higher sheen release from the foil. And when you scrub, it's a little bit lower sheen. So I think maybe I'll just find another bucket hat as we are traveling around. I don't know if there's any Michaels or Hobby Lobbies close by now, but in the next couple of weeks, I'm sure we're going to be finding one, and we'll try on both sides so that I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Gwen, I have not tried the fabric adhesives on a sun hat yet. I think if you, I mean, it's definitely worth a try. I just haven't done it. Like I said, I don't always feel that ironing is going to work as well when you have such a textured surface. Leanne, I'm sure when you first turned on the video and you saw this, it's really confusing to what it is, okay? Let's see. Shauna Ray, I have never done glasses, but we have a couple of people that are doing the, I guess they're called toppers. I'm not sure exactly the technical word for it, but they have glasses and they've made a topper that you can change out your rims on all your glasses. And one of the companies that we work with, she's been using our foils and actually foiling the toppers for those glasses. I haven't bought them yet just because my glasses are all prescription. So I'll have to definitely grab a pair and then have my prescription put into them, my prescription lenses. But I thought that would be so cute because there's so many different foils you could change out your glasses depending on what you're wearing. So I think that would be really fun. Okay, so I think my 3 little pieces are definitely going to work. And like I said, I estimated the width so that I would have plenty to work with when it came to the width of this. But you don't even need a full foot of foil to do this hat, to do a bucket hat, if you're really good and frugal with placing your foil and cutting your foil. So I think it's always kind of nice to know how much foil a project will take. So this one's under a foot. Okay, I need to probably get way caught up on comments here. I'm glad we got you some good help on those boots. We never want anything to be a nightmare project. And what Senna is talking about is she started a pair of boots that were faux leather, and any kind of faux leather project, whether it be shoes, purse, or anything, you've got to seal the surface first with the Bondago. The Bondago will seal that faux leather and protect it, because all these wet layers can compromise that product and everything can peel off. I did a pair of boots years and years ago that were faux leather, and after putting the foil adhesive on and letting it sit for a while, I was actually able to just pull the faux fabric off the boot. Okay, so I realized early on you can't just use the foil adhesive on the faux leather. It definitely compromises all that product, and that's why we use the Bondago first, because it seals everything for you. Okay, I hope you guys are enjoying watching this as much as I'm having fun putting this together, because this is coming out so cute. Okay, I think I can finally get rid of my chip clip there. And working on my last section here of bringing this together. And I want you guys to even know that over the extra seam here where the two sections are seamed together, even that foiled really well. Sometimes when you get all that stitching, you don't always get such a great release in those areas, but this hat is coming out super cute. So I am so glad that I grabbed this bucket hat. I guess you just don't always know how well something will work or not until you give it a try. So if there is something that you guys want to check out, see if the foiling will work on it or not, just let me know. I'm more than willing to try and buy the surface and work on it and be the guinea pig for you, okay? Let me see. Let's see. My first upcoming project is a bowling ball, I think. Would you suggest I practice first? Oh, Maureen, I always suggest that everybody does at least a practice project, making sure that you just kind of get familiar with all the steps. Also, we all live in different areas of the U.S. or world. Okay, we got people from all over the world, and our environment and climate and humidity and all that can play a factor in your project. So definitely find something that's kind of similar to the same surface. If it's a bowling ball, then if you can even find something that would be similar to that, because you're going to want to definitely sand, clean, and prime that project first. So you want to do that whole process on something else and just get familiar with the way everything works. Okay, guys, that is really, really cute. Okay, I am super happy with that. Now, I could leave this as is. I don't have to do the underside. I think a bucket hat pretty much, nobody's going to see the under part of it anyway. But we probably will flip this one over and do it just because. Okay, it looks like I got a little bit of adhesive on here, okay, but that is coming off because I think it just had nothing else underneath to keep it sticking on there. So pretty darn cute. I'll put it on and model it here shortly, okay? So once you are done transferring the foil, you definitely want to seal it, okay? Tammy's asking, what kind of spray glue do you use? Sorry, just got here. We do have what's called our fusible spray adhesive, and it is designed for fabric use only. I have not had any good results on any other surface. If you go to the website, just type in fusible into the search box and you'll find it. Terry has said, go to my new favorite things site and look under classes for June 21st. Okay, perfect. That will help out Ashley. Gloria, I did not use the black Bondago. I used clear because the hat was already black, so I just figured the clear would be just as easy. Thank you guys for the stars. Totally appreciate those. Oh, okay. Senna is finding out all kinds of things here. I think watching lives, watching my videos, it's just, you understand and get a visual of how much I'm scrubbing. Okay, so the toothbrush I have is a very firm toothbrush, but as you can see, I even cut the bristles down shorter because the shorter the bristles are, normally the stiffer the brush. So I'm always trying to find a plastic bristled brush. Like I said, the shorter the bristles normally, the better. also, if they're really thick and have a lot of bristles, normally they are stiffer as well. This one's not too bad. We're looking for this one to actually resell. We haven't been able to find it yet, though. Kimberly, you definitely can foil on top of resin. I always try to let the foil adhesive sit 24 hours just to make sure that it bonds really well. Deborah's excited to get started on her hat. Yes, now that you've seen that, this is coming out so cute. I think everybody's going to be out buying a bucket hat now. The brand of hat is just the Make Market. Again, it was just Michaels, whatever brand Michaels carries. Let's see. Oh, that would be cute. Kimberly says get an athletics and A's for the hat. Would you let me wear that to the game? Okay, he's looking at me but not saying anything. Cute idea though, okay? I think we got A's on just about everything. I got a whole wardrobe that has nothing but the athletics and the A's. Okay, so keep the questions coming, guys. But once you are done transferring your foils, you want to make sure that you are sealing them. It's going to do a couple of things for you. One, it's going to protect the foil just from wear and tear, okay? And then also, if you feel any stickiness left behind, it's also going to seal that. So you want to make sure that you grab, oops, I don't want that product. Okay, that's the clear Bondago. It only has one sheen, and that sheen is too low for this project because I want to keep my hat shiny. So I'm going to grab the final coat and put a layer of this on. Now, final coat is super liquid, okay? It's a very, very thin product, and a little bit goes a long ways. So when I'm pouring it out, trying to just pour a little bit of this, okay? Because I'm always amazed at how far it does go. But because it's so thin, it's designed to go on in super thin layers and then build as needed. On a hat like this, a couple of layers is really all I need, as long as I feel, can fill the hat and know it doesn't feel sticky anymore. Okay, we're gonna do our chip clip again. Just trying to figure out the best way. Maybe, I don't know. My chip clip has kind of come in kind of clutch here, okay? I want to keep it bent at this angle though. But you want to keep on a nice thin layer of the final coat. It is meant to go on super, super thin and build the layers, like I said, if needed. Okay, I do like it bent the other way. It's just a little bit easier to work on. That way I can have the table underneath, okay? So there was a method to my madness here, okay? Because otherwise, if it's bending the other way, then I don't have anything hard underneath to be able to brush onto. So I'll put a coat on. This stuff dries really fast as long as you're keeping it nice and thin. Within normally 20 to 30 minutes, it should be dry enough to put on a second layer. And again, just wait till it feels completely dry. About every 20-30 minutes, you can put on another layer. And so if you need to put on 2 or 3 or 4, it does go pretty quick. And you just don't want to forget this, okay? I know there's times where I transfer the foil and I just don't even talk about sealing it, but you definitely want to. Okay, I got a little extra goodie here. Let's get him out. And then I would get caught up on comments here, okay? So I don't know if you guys can see that really well. If it gets on too thick, you'll get a lot of bubbling from it. So I'm just trying to brush back and forth until that bubbling goes away. And the main way that we put final coat on is that microfiber sponge that we always send out with the beginner's kits. And the sponge just puts on a nice thin layer, and it doesn't create that bubbling, but not all surfaces are conducive to using the wiping pad. So just try to make sure that you are keeping it thin when you're brushing. Okay, and I'm trying to keep the top part of the bucket out of the way here. Okay, so maybe one more coat of final coat, and I could actually be done with this project if I decide not to do the other side. Okay, but that is just too cute. Oh, Senna, I hope to see you in Michigan as well. Hopefully you'll be able to come by and say hi or sign up for the class, because I know you're pretty close. Okay. Okay, let's see. I'm just checking to see if I missed anything. Leah, I used Noelle on the hat, and I must have missed your other comment because I didn't see anything. Okay. Let's see. Okay, I think I've caught up. If I missed anything, you guys, just type it again or tell me I need to go back and look for a comment. So this is, like I said, this just needs to sit for about 20 minutes or so here, and I could probably get my next coat on and be done. And then I want to go back to these cute little rounds of my hearts that I did the other day, because again, they need to be finished. Okay, we don't want to oh, Deborah, the class is going to be in Orion Township in Michigan. Oh, Lake Orion. Okay. Oh, I didn't know it was called Lake Orion, but it's Orion Township is the actual town that the place is in. So I think, well, we definitely have information going out in tomorrow's newsletter email. So if you're on our email list, you'll definitely get all the information. But Terry posted it in here, and I'm going to go ahead and pin it. Okay. And that way you can see at the very top of all the comments should be her information, but it's you can just go to the website for my new favorite thing, and under classes you can find the information and sign up there. So it's going to be great. We're doing clothing. Okay, so it is going to be a workshop where you're going to be able to bring denim. Okay, so it's going to be jeans, jean jacket. That's what we're working on. So it is going to be a fabric application, and we will most likely be working with our spray and our duo and getting everybody through some hopefully wonderful projects. Okay, I got to find myself something to work on, so I got some demo. But definitely check it out. It's coming up June 21st. I think the class is from 11 to 2. And it's going to be fun. When am I coming to Colorado? I don't know when we're coming to Colorado. We really wanted to come to Colorado at the beginning of the season because the A's played the Rockies, and it was just too cold. Okay. So we opted out of that series, but eventually we'll be going back that direction. Seems like no matter what we try to do, we've just been staying out on the East Coast, Midwest, which has been fun. We're going to be headed to Michigan and Detroit area for the Detroit series and the workshop. And then after that, we will be in the Chicago area as I was just talking with one of my retailers earlier today, we got to figure out all the details and see if we're able to do a workshop in the Chicago area. So we're doing our best to try to get around and see as many of our retailers as we can, and also do either demos, some kind of event or workshop, so that we can continue to introduce and share our love of foils with all of you. Okay, so you can see how quick and easy it is to just clear coat your projects, but you don't want to forget to do this step for two things. It really protects your foils from being scratched, damaged, and then also if by chance when you're done with your application, if anything feels sticky, the top coat will seal that, okay? And it might take a couple of layers just depending on what you're working on. So if there is a place you would love to see us come by, let us know. We're doing our best to take all suggestions and see what we can find as far as places to host classes. And we've just been having a great time. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It's not that often that I ever do a live at 7 p.m., okay? But this is kind of nice. Maybe it gives a few more people an opportunity to come and catch the live as well. I will be back tomorrow, and we'll see what we're going to work on, okay? I really feel like I need to... I gotta finish this hat out too, but finish some of the hats out because I even pulled out my rhinestones and want to try to finish some of these. So thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight, and hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow. Bye.